Before we get started, I have one favor to ask of you. Give it a like. It's not just a button, it's a signal to YouTube that this content is worth showing to others. The more engagement, the more people will see this video. Thank you. Have you ever noticed that the most patient people are always at the bottom? They get trampled on, used, squeezed to the bone, and all they do is nod and talk about kindness. They call it strength, but in reality, it's cowardice. Cowardice in the face of conflict, in the face of uncomfortable decisions, in the face of having to defend their place. They live with the idea that if they are kind, patient, compliant, the world will return the favor. But the world does not forgive weakness. The world breaks those who do not know how to defend themselves, who are not ready to assert themselves, who allow themselves to be wiped off their feet. Tolerance is a rot that eats away at you from the inside out. You get used to swallowing offenses, pretending that you are not hurt, not noticing how you are humiliated. You sag, you lose your voice, you look at the floor when you should be making eye contact. You're not strong, you're just comfortable, convenient for everyone but yourself. You become someone who's easy to use. People sense your weakness, and they take advantage of it. They don't have to ask if they can humiliate you, if they can disregard your boundaries. They know you'll put up with anything. You're humiliated and you don't say a word. You're used and you smile. You allow yourself to be wiped down because you're afraid of the consequences. But the consequences have already come. You no longer exist as a person. You don't exist. You're a grey background, a gutless mass, a man who is not bet on. You try to convince yourself that your tolerance makes you superior, that you're wiser, that you just don't want to sink to their level. But the truth is, you're just afraid. Afraid of conflict, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of being uncomfortable. Have you ever seen strong people tolerate? They don't tolerate. They set conditions. They either solve the problem or walk away. Tolerance is weakness wrapped in pretty words fed to those who must stay down. It is a means of control, a tool that makes you docile and useless. You think you will be appreciated for your kindness, but the reality is this: the world only respects strength. Not necessarily brute, not necessarily physical, but the ability to say no when you need to, the ability to stand up for what's right, the ability to not let others make a wimp out of you. The difference between patience and resilience is one thing. The patient waits to be destroyed. The resilient one acts. In a fight, one fights back, the other just takes the blows. It's your choice which one to be, the one who lies in the dust, or the one who goes forward, leaving behind those who dare not fight. If you endure, you're seen as weak. If you fight back, you're respected. And even if at first it will be a shock to those around you, even if they are not happy, in time they'll get used to it because the strong always set the rules. First you tolerate insults, then you tolerate injustice, then you tolerate your own insignificance. In the end, you don't even get pity, because the weak are despised. If you let yourself be taken advantage of, then so be it. No one's coming to save you. No one's gonna tell you that you deserve better, because you don't deserve it. You chose to be a wimp. You chose to please. You chose to be silent instead of acting. You made yourself weak. Think back to the moments when you felt humiliated, but you stayed silent. With each such instance, you become less important to the world, less important even to yourself. You try to convince yourself that tolerance is the right path, but your inner feelings tell you otherwise. You know yourself that you hate this weakness, but you keep making excuses. But you have a way out. You can just stop being comfortable. You can say no. You can cut unnecessary ties. You can cut off those who don't do you any good. You can learn to stand up for yourself instead of hiding. You're going to have to face fear. You're going to have to learn to be tough. You're going to have to become a person who can't be broken. It's not gonna be easy. You're gonna lose some people. You'll sever unnecessary ties. You're gonna be uncomfortable. But you know what will happen in the end? You'll start to be respected. You'll start to respect yourself. And it's worth it. You don't have to become aggressive, but you do have to become a person to be reckoned with. The strong don't tolerate. They take action. And you'll either start doing the same, or you'll forever be at the bottom among those whose opinions mean nothing. There are no rewards for tolerance in this world. Those who don't allow themselves to be treated like garbage win here. And it's up to you to become someone who's afraid to be touched, or remain someone who can be used and discarded. The decision is yours.